Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. So, we got a request to dive into Gifted and Talented by Olivie Blake. And let me tell you, this book just grabs you right from the start. It's like imagine a family, right? But their legacy, it's not just money or fame. It's built on this technology that's practically magic.
Oh, yeah. Like, seriously powerful, game-changing tech.
Exactly. And that power, it's both a blessing and a curse. You've got this family dynasty, the Wrens, living in this world of almost unimaginable privilege and influence thanks to their company, Wren Fair Magitech.
Run for Magitech, huh?
Yep, that's the name of their company. And it's this driving force behind the whole story.
So we're dealing with fiction, then. Contemporary, maybe with some sci-fi or fantasy elements?
You hit the nail on the head. It's definitely got that blend of contemporary life with hints of something more, something almost supernatural going on.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What can you tell us about the story itself? Without giving any spoilers, of course.
Well, the book centers around three siblings, Arthur, Meredith, and Eilidh Wren. Arthur is a congressman, constantly striving for success and approval. Meredith's a tech CEO, brilliant, but maybe a little ruthless in her ambition. And then there's Eilidh, a former ballerina who's trying to find her place outside the world of dance.
Three very different paths.
Right, and they're all dealing with the fallout of their father's death and the weight of this massive family legacy, this corporation that's practically woven into their DNA.
Sounds intense.
It is, and one of the things I loved was how Blake used this darkly comedic, almost cynical narrator.
A cynical narrator?
Yeah, it's like this all-knowing voice is observing the characters and commenting on their actions, pointing out their flaws and hypocrisies. It adds this layer of humor and irony to the story, which keeps things from getting too heavy, even when dealing with serious themes like ambition, family expectations, and personal struggles.
I can see how that would add an interesting dimension to the story.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you particularly enjoyed about the book? Or maybe something that didn't quite work for you? Again, no spoilers, please.
Okay, so two things really stood out for me. First, the exploration of ambition and family expectations. Each of the Wren siblings is grappling with this question of who they're supposed to be versus who they actually are, especially within the context of their family's extraordinary legacy. It makes you think about the pressures and expectations that come with success and power.
That's a theme that resonates with a lot of people, I think.
Absolutely. And the second thing that really intrigued me were these hints of a hidden, almost supernatural element within their world.
You mean beyond the advanced technology?
Yeah, there are these mentions of magic and an electrokinetic menace. It's subtle, but it creates this underlying tension and mystery, making you wonder what secrets are lurking beneath the surface.
Sounds like Blake's created a world with a lot of depth. Would you say the fantastical elements blend well with the more grounded aspects of the story?
Definitely. It's not like these fantastical elements are thrown in your face. They're woven into the narrative in a way that feels organic and intriguing.
So it's more about suggestion and mystery than outright explanation.
Exactly. You're given just enough to pique your curiosity without overwhelming you with information.
That can be a very effective approach, especially when dealing with fantastical elements. Were there any aspects of the book you found less engaging?
Honestly, I think the sheer number of characters and their interconnected histories could be a little overwhelming at times. Everyone seemed to have a significant backstory and a connection to everyone else.
I can see how that might make it a bit challenging to keep track of who's who.
Yeah, it did take some effort to keep everyone straight, especially at the beginning.
But ultimately, would you say those intricate relationships contribute to the richness of the story world?
They definitely do, and I think that complexity is part of what makes it feel so real. It's just, well, sometimes it felt like a lot to process.
That makes sense. Now, you mentioned the darkly comedic narrator earlier. Did you ever find that narrative voice a bit distancing, maybe preventing you from connecting fully with the characters?
You know, there were a few moments where that happened, like the narrator would make a witty remark or observation, and it would pull me out of the emotional intensity of a scene, just slightly.
So a bit of a trade-off between humor and emotional depth.
Yeah, I'd say so. But overall, I really enjoyed the narrative style. It was definitely unique.
Okay, so taking everything into account, the characters, the plot, the writing style, what's your overall impression of Gifted and Talented?
I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. It's a compelling read with a great blend of humor, drama, and mystery. It keeps you thinking about the characters and the themes long after you finish the book.
Sounds like a recommendation worth considering.
It definitely is. If this deep dive into the world of the Wrens has piqued your interest, you can find Gifted and Talented at the Amazon link in the description. And while you're at it, we'd love for you to like and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into fascinating stories.
We always appreciate you joining us for these deep dives.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. We only scratched the surface of this intricate world that Olivie Blake has created, so we'd love to hear your thoughts. What stood out to you? What questions do you still have? Share your favorite moments or any thoughts you have in the comments below. We love hearing from you. And hey, if you think someone else might enjoy this conversation, please share it with them. We're always excited to welcome new folks into our little book-loving community.